Thank you so much for tuning into the very first Monterey Symphony balcony session. My name is Will Baker. I'm the principal bass trombonist here with the Monterey Symphony. I'm so happy to be here playing music and connecting with everyone down here in the courtyard, but also live on the internet. I think it's so important. Making music and sharing with people live is really, really special and important to me, and I'm happy and really honored by the staff to get asked to do the very first session. That first song is called On Your Own Now by Steven Verhelst, potentially the most aptly named bass trombone solo for the year 2020. Steven Verhelst is an awesome composer from Belgium who studied in Rotterdam. He's also a trombonist himself, has written tons of great music for brass especially, and one of the big things that he pushes is that music doesn't stop. So no matter what the world throws at us, we keep on making music and keep on plugging ahead, and I love that message. That piece was commissioned by a bunch of bass trombonists that I look up to and aspire to sound like, and another bass trombonist. Oh, truck. The next piece was introduced to me by my teacher, someone I really look up to and want to sound like, Randy Hawes. He's the bass trombonist in the Detroit Symphony, and when I was studying with him at Northwestern, his second solo CD came out, and it had this piece on it, Raymond Premru's Prelude and Dance. And this piece is written by Mr. Premru as a memoriam for one of a musician that really affected him greatly, Mr. Bill Harris, who was a jazz trombonist with the Woody Herman Band for many, many years, and apparently a remarkable musician. And he had a big effect on Mr. Premru, so he wrote this piece. The piece comes in a couple sections. The first section is really an exploration of the bass trombone sound. So it's an elegy. There's a bit of like wandering and exploring happening. So stick with me as I kind of explore. And the second section has a bit of jazz influence, naturally, since Bill Harris played mostly jazz. And also now that modern trombonists have to be very versatile, so it's kind of fun to get to do both. So here we go. This is Prelude and Dance by Raymond Premru. Cue applause. All right. Fun fact about Raymond Premru. He was an American trombonist who spent most of his career in Europe or in Britain, and he played in the Philharmonia Orchestra for many years and was a very active session musician. And he was one of the trombonists on the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So amazing musician, awesome music. The next two pieces are, I should bring this closer. The next two pieces are written by Dave Brubeck, but not the Dave Brubeck that plays piano that you are all familiar with. His son, David William Brubeck, happens to be a bass trombonist and a composer, and he has written many of these pieces, but a series of what he calls stereograms that are musical portraits of another musician. And so I'm going to play two for you today. The first is about a trombonist named Juan Tizol, who was one of the three trombonists in Duke Ellington's band. He's a native of Puerto Rico. He wrote Caravan and Perdido, two legendary jazz songs, and was a big-time innovator in combining Latin music and jazz music, and you'll hear that kind of combination happen in this piece. Cool thing about Juan Tizol is he was a valve trombonist, which I recently learned. Valve trombones almost took over the trombone world back in the old Italian opera days before the F attachment kind of came around. But anyways, this is a great piece for Juan Tizol. I really love these stereograms because Brubeck creates two separate lines happening at once, a melody and a bass. So hope you enjoy stereogram number 2. All right, the next stereogram is written about and dedicated to George Roberts, a name that's very familiar to trombonists, but for those that don't know George Roberts, he is commonly referred to as Mr. Bass Trombone in the musical world. He was a member of Gene Krupa's band and Stan Kenton's band. He's been on numerous Hollywood recording sessions, and I think the real reason he earned that name, though, is because many consider him to be an example of what the ideal bass trombone sound is. He was playing around the time when the design of bass trombones was kind of coming into its own, diverging a little bit more from the tenor trombone design, where you get another valve or maybe bigger bell and different things. And he was right on the forefront of the industry at the time, just laying down the most rich, beautiful notes that really anyone has ever done, ever. So amazing impact and innovator. And one thing I really love about George Roberts is when in the big band era, when you had these blazing soloists or screaming high soloists like Tommy Dorsey and Glenn Miller standing in front of their big bands, no one would ever think that a bass trombone player would stand in front of their own big band, but George Roberts did. He had his own band, and he was singing out luscious, low melodies with his band. So, true inspiration. And this stereogram is written to kind of in a slow jazz ballad style, and to really show off the trombone sound, kind of in a tenor trombone range at the beginning, and then in the bass trombone range at the end. This is stereogram number 3 about George Roberts. right, we are on to the final group of songs. Truly, this is the group of songs I'm the most excited to play today for a handful of reasons. First, this piece has a very direct connection to the Monterey Symphony. Daniela Candelari is a phenomenal composer and conductor based out of New York, although she's in Michigan right now. And she is married to Nick Schwartz, who was the bass trombonist with the Monterey Symphony from 2006 to 2011. And so we have, 1 degree of separation from Monterey. And she was commissioned in 2017 by Evan Conroy of the Louisiana Philharmonic to write a piece about his dad, who was very proud of his Irish heritage. And so these 3 songs are inspired by Irish folk tunes, and they are meant to be told from the perspective as if I'm telling all 3 songs and I'm talking about my life, as a younger person in the middle of my life and towards the end of my life. So the first song was inspired by the Limerick Rake. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the actual name of this because I think it's in Celtic or something. But so it's from the Limerick Rake, and it's about a young, cavalier, rascally type person that's out for adventure. The second song is called Like the Lily White, and the title was taken from the song The Flower of Maharali, which is a song about the first time you meet that special someone. And the final song, Since It Falls Unto My Lot, uses a quote from The Parting Glass, which is traditionally the last song sung at gatherings. And it's supposed to be about the singer is kind of looking back on their life and accepting everything that has happened and where they're at today and what's to come and the sort of wisdom that you get from that. And I would really like to dedicate the playing of this to my grandmother, Yolanda Jubina, who we lost in February. She was also a lover of music. She loved her Italian operas, and I know that she's listening right now, so love you, Grams. And hope you all enjoy Daniela Candelari's 3 songs. One more set. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in. My name is Will Baker with the Monterey Symphony. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much to the Monterey Symphony staff for setting up a new way for us musicians to connect to everybody online. And happy birthday to our executive director, Nicola Riley. And yes, just all the best to everybody. Special shout out to Tony Collins, who subs with us and is just an awesome guy and fighting cancer. So power to you, Tony. Love you, man. And peace, everybody.